And welcome everybody to this 2022 visioning workshop that we're going to do. I did one yesterday and I learned some things. I need to set out the agenda what we're actually going to do. That would be super helpful. So the first step is that we are going to get really clear about what your intention, what you would love to experience in 2022. We're going to break that down until about a 3-month kind of experience. So between now and March, by March or April 1st, what would you love to have difference? We're going to kind of break it down into a little chunk. Then we're going to emotionally vomit all the reasons why you can't have what you want. All of this stuff, we're going to get it all out of your system. And then we're going to take some of that vomit and we're going to switch it around into a powerful statement so that you can get what you want. Because all that yuck is just helping you identify. It's really beneficial because it's just helping you identify what you do not want. So then you can go, oh, but what I do want is this. And then from there, we are going to, we're going to then kind of craft a journal entry as of April 1st, 2022, explaining how awesome everything is and was, so that you have something to read. Does that make sense to everybody? Let me get Emmy on my list. So I am actually taking down all of your intentions so that they are locked and loaded somewhere, and you have we can go back and look and watch the miracles show up. So I've done this before. I did this workshop with Meg and some other friends. And like one of our friends, she's just jumped on, is Vanessa, and she needed a new place for her horses. She's got 3 horses and there was a lot of stuff. And she created all of the things that she would love for those horses. And it didn't take very long, did it, Meg? It was just like all of a sudden the things that she wanted and needed, the connections that needed to be made, all just kind of came. It was really, really fun to witness. And what I love is the original document I have where she's like starting to talk about what she would love to have. So you'll have your own stuff. There's going to be writing that's going to be done. And I'm going to have some stuff to measure against this, and we'll see how well we do. Hello, Emmy. It's good to see you. It's been a while, you and Ashley. Or I usually start out with a prayer, and this is, going to go out to people. And I'm like, do I not? And I go, no, I just always start out with prayer. So I did not do that yesterday, and I could feel the difference. So if it's all right, I'm just going to offer a very quick prayer so that we can get some spiritual stuff going. Our Father, who art in heaven. Father, we come before thee today so excited and so looking forward to all of the blessings and the goodness that is on its way for us. Father, I ask thee to help protect our space, that we might sit in the beautiful holy vibration of possibility and of potential and of receiving all that you have for us. I ask thee that angels might attend, that our minds might be cleared, and that your work will be done through us. We are grateful for this time and for this knowledge, and dedicate it to thee. Father, please be with us and magnify our every intention and all of our efforts. We say this very humbly. In the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ, amen. All right. First things first, let's get super clear. So overall, I just want you to kind of think of the overall 2023 vision workshop. Looking back at 2022, what do you get to report? Okay, so just kind of envision just for a second, what does life look like 1 year from now? What would you love? So I am seeing travel. I would really love to do some traveling this year. Just excitement. I've just got a lot of love. Okay. So anybody want to claim what 2022, just kind of the overall feeling? A lot of times people at this stage of the game in January, they pick a word, right? So if you've got a word, if you've got a thing, what just kind of came up? Meg, let's start with you. Overall.
That I'm settled. I'm going to be in the process of moving, and I want to feel settled and comfortable and be able to say, man, this was such an amazing move, and everything came together and fit and flowed, and I just feel so at home. So that's my vision for what I will be reporting in 2023, just how well the move went.
I can feel it. Did you feel it when she said it? I think you feel the settled and it all went well. And I'm so excited about the story that's coming up in this. Okay, cool. All right, Brenda, what about you?
Okay, there we go. Sorry. Expansive is the word. And it's because I see both my business and my home expanding. And that's very exciting to me.
Home, like the actual structure of the home?
Oh, yeah. Like by the end of this year, we are pushing the wall out of the kitchen and the living room and expanding that space.
The office in. Okay. Yep. So expansive for home and business. Awesome. All right. Chevy, what about you?
What was that?
No.
Hi, everyone. The words that come to mind to me are excited and in love.
Excited and loved. Is that right?
Excited or and in love. Yeah.
In love.
Excited about my life and my business and my future and my family, and in love with life, in love with a man, in love with myself.
Oh, so good. All right, Afua, your turn, babe. What you got for us?
See, I was trying to do it, and the kids are trying to talk to me. So
what we can give you another moment if you just want to your overarching kind of looking back 2022. What's different? What would you love to have experienced?
So, I mean, what I was envisioning or thinking about, I'm overlooking my kitchen right now, and we're just playing some music. So I was just feeling that, and just, having that completeness of a family, and just love and peace, and just happiness, right? Nothing to worry about. It's just kind of what I was kind of feeling, like a good feel, kind of, having everything all settled. Somebody says settled, like I'm completely settled.
Good. Awesome. So I'm hearing a lot of contentment.
Yeah.
Right? That we've got some contentment going on. All right, Corrine, dear, what about you?
Peace and joy.
Peace and joy.
Feel peaceful. Yeah, peaceful and joy. So I know I'm on the right track. I know what I'm doing, and I'm successful in what I'm doing. So I'm feeling a lot of peace with it. I'm doing it, enjoy.
Good. All right, Liz. Liz is continuing from what yesterday. Liz and Melissa, do you want to shift anything, Liz, or overarching 2022?
Home, for the love. I just want a home. A real one. It's all mine.
Well, it's a home with walls. So Liz has been traveling and helping her mom and just kind of bouncing around as a nomad because she's in service. And she has things in Michigan and probably in Florida and in Utah. And so to gather it all in.
I just want a home, that's all.
I love it. All right, Ashley, what about you, my dear?
My word is peace as well.
Is peace? Yeah. Okay. And what does that peace look like? Peace about what?
I'm in a phase of surrendering. Like, I've tried to get the home. I've tried to so many things, and now I just want to be at peace. Like I'm tired
Peace
of
and
fighting
acceptance.
with myself and God, and I'm tired of being just angry or resentful. So I just want to be at peace.
Hey, thank you so much. And what I'm hearing about surrendering is it's not doormatting, right? Not that you like, I surrender, I give up, life is bad. It's like this sweet surrender of I am so comfortable just letting life flow and me not having to make it happen. That's the surrender that I hear. Is that correct? Because again, I want to get really clear in our feeling and our intention, because you could do surrender like I just give up on life, I'm not even going to try anymore, and you go to apathy. That's not the surrender that you are desiring for next year. You want to look back and go, I just kind of let go. And it was so sweet because I felt contentment and I was richly blessed, but I wasn't pushing to make the blessings happen. I just surrendered to the process of it. And it was so good. Is that correct? That's the surrender that we're looking for. Awesome. All right, Amy, what about you, my dear? Homeschooling mama. Okay, Emmy, you take care of daughter. I'm going to go to Flora. Flora, what about you, my dear?
Thrive.
Ooh, thrive. That's a good word. Uh-huh.
And I do like that surrender. That's been something that's been on my mind for a while too.
So the thriving surrender, it feels like those two don't go together, but oh my gosh, they go together.
Yeah.
Thriving surrender.
Yeah. And I would really love to have my own home.
Own home. I love that. Who wants home? All right. Vanessa, I think Vanessa's just listening in today.
I can chime in though.
Okay. So you chime in.
You don't want to see me on video because I haven't gotten dressed for the day. I'm in my pajamas still, but and I have to go to the barn very soon. But
Did you see Liz? Liz is like jammies are on, babe. So
oh yeah, okay. All right. Well, here we go. Here's me in my jammies.
It doesn't look like jammies. All right, Vanessa.
All right.
Overarching. What do you want?
The word that has come to me in the last week and it keeps coming is transformation. And that's like radical transformation of myself, my business, my home, my life. It's all going to be very different by the end of the year, this time next year.
It is. So Vanessa has been working on breaking up with Hard. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hard wasn't a good partner. Hard was actually kind of toxic and mean to her. And so she's breaking up with Hard and she's flirting with Easy. And it's really fun to watch her flirt with Easy and go, you know, I kind of want to date you. Easy's kind of fun. Every once in a while, Hard will text her and try to pull her back into the relationship. And she's like, no, I'm not doing you, Hard. And it's just really fun to watch this. So I can totally see the transformation of what it looks like to be cherished by Easy. Like it's going to be so sweet and divine. Right? Transformation.
It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be so awesome. All right, Melissa, what about you? Melissa.
She's got all of her boys at home. She might not say anything.
Okay, you may not say anything. You may just workshop today. All right, did we get everybody? Everybody. Okay, I'm not watching the chat. Oh, there she goes. Boys really want to be here and clean as much as she can. Cool. Awesome. Okay. Now, I want you to go into, we're going to do quarters. Because what I know is that we can have this overarching thing, and then we come to the end of 2022 and we go, I don't know if I did anything, because right now, all of this is a little vague. It's really great feelings, but we've got a little bit of vagueness still. So what I would love to know is go into the first quarter. between now and March. Now, please, let's be realistic about what can happen between now and March. We need rare faith. We need angelic help, and all sorts of miracles can happen. But I've heard people do, and I want $100,000 more income the next month. And I'm like, okay, when you start with $50, $100,000 a month is a little bit of a stretch, right? It doesn't mean that in 2022 we can't have that, but what are we doing? So I want to know, between now and March, end of March, what is something that I want you to hear my language? What is something you would love that moves you towards the overall thing? So Flora, in thriving, is there one area of thriving, or is there one place of surrender, or is there something about the home that you would love? Maybe finances put together, or find the realtor, or find the land, or do you know what I mean? I want a little bit more specific as we get into this next phase, okay? So that we go, my intention is this. So what I did with this with Meg, I think your intention was something about the house in Phoenix, right?
Yeah, that's what my intention was when we did it. But that's not going to fit in the first quarter. But yes, that will be probably second or third quarter that actually fits in.
Second or third quarter, okay? Keep those puzzle pieces moving so that you know where you're at, okay? Because what happens is when you find measurable, oh my gosh, I arrived, it propels you into the next level. What I notice about myself is the prayers that I was praying 15 years ago and the feelings that I had, I'm still praying, although what's happening is changing. So I used to pray, Heavenly Father, I just want a spiritual relationship with my husband. I would just really, really love him to come to church. You know, I just want this connection with him. And then 3 years later, it's Heavenly Father, I just want my husband to pray with me. Like, I just want this spiritual connection to praying. And I totally forget that he's showing up to church with me every single week now. But my intention, my feeling of that connection is still the same, as though I haven't received anything. And so I want us to have some tangible things where we can go, that is happening, which means the next step of what I would love can happen as well. Does that make sense? So let's get this started. Chevy, let's go with you. What in 3 months would you love?
I would like to have my business up and running and having 10 customers.
Paying customers.
Paying customers, 10 paying customers.
Good. Okay, so we have about 10 paying customers. So when you say up and running, does 10 paying customers equal up and running?
Yes.
Okay. Because we can say up and running. My business is up and running, and I still feel like there's so much more to do that I could pretend like it's not actually up and running because there's so much more to be done, right? So having something that says, and it's up and running to this point of 10 customers.
Yes, correct. Yeah. And then I want to have met a man to be in love with.
Amen. To be in love with.
Which I kind of have a man that I'm in love with, but he's not in love with me. So, you know, it's kind of like
we want to have the cherished stuff going on, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we're gonna meet.
So how you word that?
I say meet the man is good. It doesn't mean we're in a relationship yet. It means that you've met him. You've brought that into your space. You know, the relationship isn't fully developed. You don't know things yet, but you've got a man in your life that cherishes you.
Yeah, great.
Interested, right? So it's not just meet a man. You've got a man who could care less. We want a man who's interested in you.
Yes, correct.
Correct. Okay. So we're going to meet a man you've got to be in love with, is what you just said. How about a man who is interested in who you are? That you want a man who is in your space, who's very interested in you.
Okay, yes.
Because
Yes.
you can have all sorts of men around you to be in love with. But that doesn't
True.
mean they're in love with you. And that's
True.
not what we're looking for.
True. And I could have men that are interested in me, but
Okay.
me not
How
interested in
about
them. How
meet the man who is a good fit for me? Does that work?
much closer?
Okay. So tell me more about what you would love in the next 3 months with this man. Let's get a little more specific. What would you love to experience?
Feeling loved and yeah, cherished by him and me. I mean, reciprocate, obviously.
Okay.
So
you're
probably
saying-
reciprocate is a good word.
Okay. Okay. How about meet the man who's reciprocating love and interest?
Great.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're meeting a man who's reciprocating love and interest. Good, good, good. Okay. Let's go back to Flora. Have you got something for the next 3 months?
I'm some sort of employment or some sort of something where I'm at least bringing in what goes out.
Okay.
So
So I would love this for, rather than bringing in what goes out, how about in the next 3 months, you have crossed the threshold where you're bringing in more than goes out.
yeah, so that I can start making that progress. Start living in financial integrity.
Okay, so in the next 3 months, you're bringing in more money than flows out. Is that okay? Does that feel good? Good, because that is thriving, right? When we're bringing in more than flows out, that's thriving. That's good stuff. Okay. What about you, Meg? In 3 months, what have you got? What would you love?
I will have secured the perfect job for me, and I love that job. And also, I will understand and enjoy the balance of how the house flows. The rest of you may not know, but I'm moving in. My husband and I are moving in with his best friend, so there's a balance there that has to be acquired. So I want to understand how the house flows and enjoy the energy and the balance of how it all flows.
And your place in it, right? Your place in that flow.
Right.
Okay, understand and enjoy my place in the balance of how the house flows.
Mhm.
Okay, so you're flowing within the flow. You understand your place. It's all moving according to comfort, right?
Not place, space. My space. I want my own space.
Enjoy my space. I love it. In the balance of how the house flows.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, super good.
And the job that she loves.
I've
She
got
has a
that.
job
I've
that
got
she loves.
I've got
All right.
I got secured the perfect job that I love, and understand and enjoy my space in the balance of how the house flows. That's what I've got. Good. All right, Brenda, what about you, my dear?
Okay, so there's what I want done, and then there's how I feel about it. So what I want done is I want to have had 2 launches with the NCS, the new program, finished. And I want to do
Wait. 2 launches finished or 2 launches done? I mean, they're kind of the same, because I can see launches finished, like all of the things that you need to be done before you launch finished, or the launch is complete.
The launch has happened.
Good. Okay.
So both launches have happened.
Good. Okay.
The first one is for it's the prototype, and then the second one's the real thing. So that means that we've
People there.
completed the real one, right? And then I want to feel really proud of myself at having finished the prototype and how it looked and how it went. And I guess I want to feel the same way about both of them.
Proud and confident, maybe.
Confident, yeah, and confident and competent. Both of those.
I love it.
I also there's something else in there that has to do with time and the amount of time that I'm spending on it, and I want that to increase. I don't know how to put that into words, but I guess I want to be able to look back and say, this is my real job and you're putting real time towards it. I don't know how to do that, but you know me, I'm so fractured and I've got so many things on my plate, and it's so fun to be me. It's so crazy to be me. And so I want something that will define that I have put the time in.
Okay, so I've got easily flow within the dedicated time I spend in my business.
Okay, that's great, because that allows me to define the dedicated time too. So
right,
I like that.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're flowing in and out of that time, because yes, I know you, and I also know that you can go really hard and then get burned out and go, I just want to be with my family and my friends, instead of the flow of the in and out of it. And knowing that that in and out's going to work well for you, whatever you decide that dedication or that dedicated time is, but that you naturally go, oh, it's my dedicated time and I'm just going to flow into that. And now it's not my dedicated time and I'm just not going to be a businesswoman, because you absolutely have to have balance. You will not be happy unless those two things are gelling with each other. It doesn't work for you to be anything else than that. Okay.
Well, yeah.
All right. Let's get to Afua. What about you, my dear? What would you love in 3 months? We have completeness of family, love and peace, nothing to worry about. You're just kind of settled. So what is a 3-month something that touches one of those?
So currently, well, I should say not currently, because I kind of started studying, but then, the holidays got in the way. So I'm studying for one of certification for my job. So, and it's a really, really hard test. And so the plan, or what I would want, is to pass that exam, because passing that will, bring a little bit more income for me. And so to pass that exam is what I would want. Also, I put down that I want to have more connection and trust with my my boyfriend, and be content, or if not, be content with wherever the relationship is at.
Okay. So I have here that the exam is passed. Here's the thing, Afua, is that I heard you say that the exam is hard. If you claim the exam to be hard, the exam will absolutely be hard for you. So if you would love the exam to be passed with grace and ease, then I would say that what you would love also is for the information to just flow with ease and stick so that you can pass that exam.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Because it can be hard if you want it to be hard. It's true. Okay. The information is obtained and retained with ease. Doesn't that feel so much better?
Yeah,
As you're
that
studying?
yeah.
Yeah, that's so much better than struggling to find and get the information into you. It can just flow with ease. The information comes, you just retain it. Like, that's more fun.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
I tried taking that test 2 years ago, and I didn't do well. So I'm kind of like scared. I've been scared. I've been trying to study, but then I freak out, and so then I stop studying, and then I have to start over again.
Mhm.
So,
So
but
I just want to offer something to you. Do you have more skill set as far as knowing how to think about things and maybe this exam than you did the first time around 2 years ago?
yeah,
And so it could be actually completely different, where it could actually be easy because you know how to do easy. Whereas before, all you knew how to do is like be stressed over the test. Like that's what's required, right? To do a good job, you've got to be stressed.
yeah,
And so now you know that you actually don't have to be stressed. So this could be a completely different situation for you. Is that correct?
yes.
Yeah, you don't have to actually live in your past. You just go, yeah, so what I don't like about my past is that I was stressed. What I would love is to experience obtaining information with ease and have it be so much fun that it's just flowing the right way. That's what we want.
Yes,
Awesome. Okay.
That's so much better. Yes.
I got you. Okay, Corrine, what about you, my dear? We have that you want some peace and joy and to be on the right track and know that what you're doing and that you're successful. So, Corrine, in the next 3 months, what do you see? What would you love? Corrine's off camera, so I'm not sure. Corrine, are you still here, babe? Okay, we're gonna move on. Liz, oh, there's Corrine.
No,
She's
I'm
back.
here. Yes.
Okay.
No. I would like for the new business that's being opened to have its license. That's going to take a while.
Is that going to be within 3 months?
It can. There's 2 ways that we can go about this, and one of the ways, yes, it can, definitely.
The new business will have its license.
Yeah.
Okay.
The vetting that I need for my current employment is complete and granted. I get the vetting. And it always comes down to me, so I've really got to do it. I really want to do it this year, is to be close with the Lord, just to feel. I need to feel that I work better in life when I've got that.
I'm going to say for you that you trust your place with the Lord.
Yeah.
There's a trust thing for you. And it's not that you don't know that the Lord loves you, but you don't trust that you're worthy of his love. So that you trust your place with the Lord. Right?
Yep.
So, and I'm going to put that on the 2022 thing. Trust your place with the Lord. That you just trust where you sit with him. It's going to be great. Okay. So I've got for your 3-month thing, I've got the new business will have its license, and the vetting that is needed for employment is granted. It's complete and granted. Yes. And those both can be done within the next 3 months. Is that correct? Or does one need to be moved in? They can?
You know what? They can be, but they can, maybe I should put that in the next.
Okay, so the vetting is in the next 6 months or the next 3 months. Yeah. Is that right?
Maybe I'll do my trust my place with the Lord. And maybe I'll just do that. The containers in my house and my house is 2 things are finished for the first one.
Okay, so say that again about your containers in the house. What is that?
My containers on the property and my actual house are completed.
Okay, So right now we're gonna find in the next 3 months the trust with your place with the Lord and the containers and your house are completed. Is that correct?
Yep.
And then the
Yeah.
other two, the business license and the vetting is 6 months from now. Right?
Okay, yeah,
Yep,
Yeah.
that feels good.
yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. You're welcome, my dear. All right, Liz.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
With the trust and the trust part, how can you tell you've got it?
How can you tell you've got it? That's such a good question, Chevy. When you know your place with the Lord, there is not guilt and shame the same way. Like have you ever been in a situation where there's people who don't know you and there's judgment and you just feel like you've got to protect yourself kind of when you're around them? And then there's other people who know you're good, you're bad, you're ugly, and they just love you and they just accept you and you know that you're accepted and loved. That feeling, oh dear. That feeling is exactly the same as with the Lord. You know that you are like working with the Lord when you just feel absolutely willing to be naked and exposed in front of him. Like there's nothing outside of who you are that is not accepted. And you just know that. And you know that there's a working partnership with him. It's beautiful. So it's not something that you can go, and I understand the scriptures like a scriptorian. It's more this peacefulness of just, I don't have to prove anything to the Lord. He already knows everything. And I'm just so comfortable in my skin when I think about our relationship. Does that make sense? Does that help? Yeah. Okay, good. Thanks for asking for that clarification. Liz, what about you in the home, my dear?
The two things that I wrote down were consistent income of yesterday I had given a big number, but today breaking it down into more smaller bites. Consistent income of, about $5,000 ish a month. And to have at least one consistent revolving client on Rare Faith. I really want to get my old job with all those independent contractors, like a weekly workshop or something where people can come in and be introduced to that.
Yeah.
I can start generating some real something.
Awesome. I can help you with that, my friend. We can do some workshops. Good. Okay. I've got consistent income of $5,000 a month and one consistent client where there's professional workshops being done, right? Good. All right, Ashley, what about you, my dear? Cute boy.
I want to, well, first I want to add trust the Lord to my intention.
You want to trust the Lord, or you want to trust that you have rightness with him, your relationship with him. Is that right? Trust your place with the Lord.
Yeah, I just don't want to play this dance of, oh, you're bringing me the blessings. Oh, there's no point of dreaming anymore. Like, it's not meant for me. Like, I'm just playing this tug of war constantly.
So you just want to just be really, really trusting of where you sit with the Lord, and that you just have this relationship so that as things come, you can receive, and as they don't, you can be patient and you don't have to worry about you're doing it wrong. Is that right?
Yeah, I think that's right. I think there's a little bit more to it. But yeah.
Okay, there's more to it. You want to go into the more to it, or you got that when you're writing it down? You know what that looks like.
Yeah, I know what that looks like.
Okay, good.
The first quarter, I'd like to earn $1,000 each month, and we are in the home. Like the home is settled.
Okay, so you're in the home and you're earning $1,000 each month, and that's doable in March. Yes, or by March, next 3 months. Super good. Okay, Emmy, my dear, what about you? We got to get your overall too, right?
Yeah. So what I would love in the next 3 months
Mhm.
is I would love to experience the building of our additions with hope, joy, and peace and fun. And I would like them to be completed by mid-February and everything settled in the home as far as kids moving bedrooms and all that settled by the end of March.
I love it. Settled in the home. Like you guys are just humming. Like everybody's got their place and their space.
Yep, everybody has a place. Everybody has somewhere they can go to be their own self, and we're not on top of each other anymore. And that's my first, always my first choice. More peace in my home, more flow in my home. You know, and if I could personally bring in $5,000 a month, that would be a bonus. But I don't, as of right now, I don't know how to make that happen for myself.
Okay. Let's work right now on having the additions done, and that you just keep in that peace, hope, joy, and fun while those additions are being done, right? In the excitement of them. And that you're seeing them complete in mid-February, and by March, we're just settled. Like the house is humming. The way everybody flows and moves within that space that you guys have created is just working.
Yeah.
Is that good? Okay, good. Vanessa, 3 months. Your transformation of your business, your home life, what you got? 3 months.
All right. This is the end of March, yeah?
Yep.
All right. By the end of March, for my business, I will have revamped my pricing and my portrait website.
Pricing and portrait website?
Yeah, those will be totally updated and new
Good.
and functioning. They will be transformed. And for myself, I will be down 1 pant size.
Ooh.
By March. And for my home, I will have transformed and revamped my entryway so that I can use it as a place to take photos of products and stuff like that. So brand new entryway.
I like that. Okay, everybody. Now I'm going to read these back. Please let me know if I've missed you. Flora is going to bring more money in than is flowing out. Meg is going to secure the perfect job that she loves and understand and enjoy her space and the balance of how the house flows. Brenda is going to have 2 launches, a prototype and the real one, and she's going to have confidence and feeling very competent about how that looked. And she's easily going to flow within the time she's dedicated to spend in her business. Chevy is going to have 10 paying customers and meet that man who's reciprocating love and interest in her. Afua is going to easily have information come and retain so that she can take this test with grace and ease. And she's going to have more connection and trust with her boyfriend. Okay. Or be content with the relationship as it is. Corrine is going to trust her place, like be totally in trust of her place with the Lord, and that the containers within her house and outside the house are all completed. Liz is going to have consistent income of $5,000 a month and have one really consistent client that she can run the Rare Faith programs in and out of. Ashley is going to find her trust in her place with the Lord and earn $1,000 a month and be in her own home. Emmy is going to experience the additions to her house, the building of that. She's going to stay in peace and joy and excitement and love as that process is happening. They're going to be completed by mid-February, and by the end of March, the home's going to be settled and humming. Like it's just going to be humming with joy. Vanessa is going to have revamped her pricing and portrait websites. And she's going to be down 1 pant size, and she's going to revamp that entryway in 3 months so that she can take photos of products in a way that is really easy for her. Does that sound good to everybody? Yes? Okay. The next step is you get out a piece of paper and you tell me all the reasons why this is not going to happen. Every single doubt, fear, frustration, block, person in the way, situation, past history, all the things that makes it so it's not going to happen. Okay, so you guys have got about 10 minutes to verbally vomit. Okay, you're just going to throw up all the reasons. What you're doing in this is not attaching a lot of emotion to it. You're just looking, you're just going, I want to look and see it, all of the things that are in the way that I consider to be in my way. I'm just going to analyze and look and go, that's interesting that that's what I believe. So we're going to stay in a place of curiosity about all of your reasons instead of a place of emotional attachment to the truth of those. Does that make sense? Staying in curiosity. Oh, that's interesting. So I'm going to read this to you. When I had to move into a new house, I did not want to. I was forced to move from a landlord. Did not want to. And so I knew, so it's kind of like Afua, the last time I moved, I didn't have any of this skill set. And so the one thing I went is, oh, I actually could do something new about obtaining the house that I desire. So this is what I'm going to do. I put, first of all, what I would really love to receive. And I tried to go into this. I would love to receive this about my house. And I couldn't because all the crap kept getting in the way. And I kept having an argument with myself. So I finally said, fine, here we go. I found out this week, I have to move. I'm going to dump all the negative things about this so that I can make space for the positive. So I intentionally looked at everything that was in my way. Number one, resistance. I don't want to exert any effort, mental, emotional, physical, or financial, to move. Now, if that's really in the way, am I going to lovingly try to find a house? No, I don't want to expend any effort, none whatsoever. Let's get real with that, okay? 2, I hate feeling displaced. I don't want to feel displaced. I'm settled where I'm at. I don't want to do this. I'm tired of finding a place in a new social circle. I really love walking up Airport Hill in the morning, and I won't be close to it anymore. And I finally have a friend here who'll walk with me. Tom and I approach things so differently, and it's so difficult to stay positive when he is stressed and so doubtful. I don't want to do this. The market isn't optimal for buying or renting. It's impossible. We're not financially prepared to even buy. And I just want time to build our dream home. I don't want to move right now. This is just distracting me from everything I'm trying to do with business to even generate the income that I could possibly pay for a house. There is not good space in any architecture at all for my piano. Tom wants to keep it small so that the grandkids can't come over, and I want to make it big. So we're already in contention. And Tom is so stressed about this whole thing, he won't even be helpful. All the things about why I could not have the home that I wanted. Okay, that's what I would love you to do. Whatever negative things comes up, just let it have expression so that you can look at its validity. Does that make sense? Because there are some things in there that I can switch and go, you know what? My declaration is Tom and I found a home that we love together as partners. Instead of what I said, he never actually works well with me. If I'm saying that, then guess what? We are always going to be at odds. But I can look at it and I can go, what I would really love is partnership as I find a house. Okay, so ready, set, throw up, go.
Hey, Ann, I have a question. Do we really have to do this?
Yes, you really have to do this. Afua, you really have to do this.
Okay.
Okay, and if you get mad and frustrated, what, Meg? Meg's saying something. Go ahead, Meg.
I said that I feel like when you did it with us before, when we did this in our group, that it made a huge difference to write out all the negatives because then I could let it go and quit thinking about it. It was just kind of setting it free.
Yeah, it's going to set it free. All the negatives, every single reason you can think of in the next 10 minutes. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Okay, you got about 5 minutes left. Okay, 2 minutes. That's 1 minute. And we will get back to this. Okay, everybody. Wrap up the last little bit of this yucky throw up stuff and come back on camera. So what I would love to know is what just happened for you. In actually looking at those things, what did you discover or notice as you were writing them out? Flora, what about you? What did you experience as you were writing all that stuff out?
A whole lot of absolutes.
Whole lot of absolutes. Isn't that interesting? Are absolutes real?
No.
There's always something else, right? So when you hear absolutes, we know that there's an enemy who's thwarting your best efforts because he will always speak always in nevers, right? Or in the oppositional force, whatever you call that, speaks in absolutes. So that's really interesting that you found absolutes. Would you love to believe those absolutes?
Not those ones.
Not those ones. Okay, don't want to believe those.
I'd rather believe, which is what I really believe, is that the Lord always has my back. I'm never on my own. I always have the support that I need when I need it.
Always. So good. All right. What else happened? Yeah, go ahead, Brenda.
Okay, so I started out with paragraph and then I started listing things. And I wish I could show you this, but my list, everything on the list starts with I. I can't, I am, I solve, I love, I don't, I can't, I don't, I can't. And I sat back and I was like, this is all about me doing this by myself and not with the Lord's help. Like, I don't have any personal discipline, right? By myself, but if I let the Lord get involved and get his help, then that's not just me, you know? So it's all these, that was definitely a theme.
Definitely a theme. And it's a truth. The truth is you can't on your own.
Right.
Using your own power and your beautiful wisdom are actually not enough.
Right.
And the other lie is that you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
What if you're not supposed to be enough?
And I don't actually believe I'm supposed to be. Like, I don't really think that. Right.
But all the throw up said that's exactly what it is. So you just go, oh yeah, that's a bunch of throw up. Yesterday, I don't remember who it was, but I said, so what do you do with it when you throw up? I mean, do you play in it? Or do you throw it out? Like you do after you vomited something up, right? We don't sit and smell it. We don't examine it. We just go, ew,
gross.
That's gross. And I think that everything's all about me doing things. That's gross. I don't want that. Right?
Right.
Okay. Anybody else? What did you experience this time? Or what did you experience as you did this?
I found it really difficult to write things down.
Really? Why is that, do you think?
Don't know. I just was like, what to write? What do you say? What do I write? I don't know. I was just really kind of like stuck.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. Especially people who are really studying these laws of thought and manifesting and things, what I discover is that because we know how to do that, we skip over this step and our brain actually isn't used to looking at the negative because we go, I don't want to look at the negative. I'm only going to be positive. I'm going to stay positive. I'm just going to always be positive. And we actually bury any of that information that is possibly negative. And so I'm wondering if that's the case, do you have anything in you that says it's wrong for me to look at the negative? Like it's counterproductive for me to do this?
Somehow, yeah. Yeah.
Because one of the things that I've discovered is that when I'm willing to actually give voice to the negative in a way that I'm hearing myself, I discover all sorts of things about what I actually want. Like I uncover true desire when I'm willing to look at all the stuff that I feel is in my way. And so I use this rather than we're not going to give weight to it. We're not going to give a whole lot of emotional intention and belief to it. But when we push it down as though we shouldn't be doing it, we're actually stifling our voice. And so what will happen is that it will continue to play over and over and over and over until we hear ourselves. The reality is, I don't like it when me and my husband don't do things together. And so me saying he's always like this and he's grumpy, it's never good to work with him. I can go, oh, so what I don't like is when I'm doing it alone. Huh. And I'm blaming him that I'm doing it alone. That's really interesting. See, I can discover things when I'm willing to look at the negative. Yeah. Did you have any negatives there at all, Sherry? Were you able to get anything?
Yeah, I've got a couple of things. Yeah.
Why is it impossible for you to get, or what would get in your way of getting 10 paying customers?
One of the things that I wrote is that I hate social media. And,
oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, and that you know, it's just, you know, I need to do it to get the business going, but I just hate that.
Yeah, and so actually hearing yourself go, I actually hate it. And going, I wonder what would cause me to love it. See, what you want to do is you want to actually get stuff there, right? You want to get stuff out. You don't like social media. What do you need to do to actually enjoy the process of connecting through social media?
Well, it's actually trusting myself, really.
Oh, so I don't trust myself to do a good job on social media. By the way, when I've seen your social media, I think, wow, she's super professional. That's what I experience when I see your social media, just so you know. Because I've seen it. And I go, wow, she looks really professional. Like I'm interested in the way you're presenting is actually really good. So you can hate it and worry about how people are perceiving it and be so stuck in that it's not fun to actually do and go, wow, I actually really love connecting with people through this medium. How cool is this tool? Chevy, you and I connected on social media and you're in my space and you're in freaking New Zealand and I'm in America. This is kind of an amazing, cool thing. Right?
Yeah.
And so being aware that you hate it is really important for you.
I think what you just said really resonated, that is about giving myself. And yeah, I'm not giving myself.
You're not giving yourself permission to like it.
Sorry?
You're not giving yourself permission maybe to like it.
Well, because it's interesting, I see how it is connected with the other, about meeting a person, a man. I'm not giving of myself.
You're not giving of yourself. You're not letting yourself be out there and say, hey, this is who I am. I will say, it's interesting that you brought up, how do I know how to trust my place with the Lord? When you establish that and go, hey, what I would really love is to just feel really content with that relationship back and forth, then anything outside of that just doesn't matter. And it's really easy for you to be giving to yourself. Like you give yourself out because you're already okay, because you and the Lord are okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And I see that I'm not giving myself, and I'm not giving of myself. And I think I'm not giving of myself because I'm still, for example, I'm still attached to a relationship. I'm still attached to my ex-husband.
Yeah. Yeah. And trying to get his approval of all the reasons why he made a big mistake. and why you guys aren't together anymore, right? And getting that validation from him that you're a good person before you actually show up in some other space. Yeah, that's a dog chasing its tail. That one will go around and around and around and around and around.
And that's at the end, and that's the basis of all, because I'm so kind of like, dog chasing a tail. I'm so obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And that it just totally distracts me from my business, distracts me from my life, distracts me from everything.
A lot of emotional capital being spent in the wrong space. So as you're trying to protect yourself from that stuff, then you're actually protecting yourself from the world. You're not letting the world see who you are. Chevy, one of the things that I had to do in my divorce situation is I lived by a mantra that said that the truth is the truth. And he never has to acknowledge it for it to be true. So the truth is I loved him. The truth is I was actually a good partner. He never, ever has to acknowledge that for it to still be true that I was. And once I really attached to that understanding that he never has to acknowledge anything for it to be true, that I'm a good woman, worthy of really great relationship, that's when it finally released. And I was able to find a man who cherishes me in a way I'd never experienced in my life. Right? Your ex never has to acknowledge who you were to him and that you were one of the best things that ever happened to him for it to still be true.
Yeah.
And that means it's true as you move into another relationship. You very literally can be the best thing that has ever happened to a man. And he can acknowledge that as truth. You can actually have that, right? And so as you do that, absolutely you'll be giving to the world because you feel safe to give. You don't have to prove it. You're not waiting for the world to tell you you're okay. To just be able to give. That's so good. So good to know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So looking at the negative is so good. All right, Emmy, what about you? What about you, Emmy? What did you notice?
I noticed that I didn't really feel like there was too many things in the way. Toward the middle of the time, I was grasping at straws, trying to figure out what could be in the way. Like almost like that could get in the way, but it doesn't really feel like it's in the way. But that I started to want to start writing down the positive, the flip side of it in a way that would, I would love this to be happening instead. So that's what I found as I was doing it. I also feel like I give my kids too much authority, if that makes sense. And so like earlier at the beginning of the call, I just was really frustrated because I was like, I'm trying to better myself and make a better world for my kids and my family. And yet my kids are having an emotional throw up moment where they're not letting me access the moments where I need to for the information, right? So I've got to do some more pondering on that and figure out all that. But so I feel like that gets in the way a lot because I feel like my primary mission in life is to be a good mom. And so I feel like that gets in the way a little bit with my goals and my desires because that's a good thing to do, right? But anyway, sorry.
Well, I think the lie is if they're not all happy, that's evidence that you're not a good mom. Right?
I think that can apply. I don't see it applying a lot, but I think it can. More than I realize, more than I want to acknowledge.
And taking care of you is somehow not being a good mom.
For some reason, that is like, I don't consciously think that's a thing, but it totally, like, I can see the backlash of that emotional programming somewhere. I don't know where it's coming from, whether I've done it or whether my kids came with it as an inherited emotion. I don't know where it's coming from, but I can see the backlash from it for sure.
I can too. So what's interesting is I did the same thing. After my list, I put, okay, now for the good stuff. This means something awesome is waiting around the corner. I wonder what I will love about my new home. Maybe it's time to buy an RV. I laughed at myself. I thought that was funny. Maybe I should just buy an RV and start traveling. Okay. I have a new skill set to apply to this move that I didn't have ever before. I could have a workout room. I could have more space and light in my office. I could have a brighter living room. I could have big windows, right? And so all of the I coulds showed up after all of the I can'ts. And so I love the fact that you naturally went into that, Emmy, into this, okay, but what could be real? What could happen? What could be possible? So for each one of you, look at that list. We're not going to do it right now, but go back to that list, read all the yuck and go, okay, but what could be possible? I don't know that is going to be real, that none of this is going to work. Just like I don't know that it's going to work. What could be? Okay, so going from, Vanessa shared a thing where somebody led them through a process of I can't to I could to I will, and I will buy. And so you take that can't into this is my forward movement. It was really good. I'll have to do that another time. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're now going to assume. I'm gonna read your things. We're gonna assume that Flora has tapped into something and more money is flowing into her life than is flowing out. We're gonna assume that Meg has found the divine, perfect job with the coworkers, the clients, all the things, the time, the space, the energy needed, her ability to give, and all of the things are going to combine in the perfect way. And she's totally 100% herself as she flows in and out of that house. We're going to assume that. We're going to assume that Brenda's launch was so good and her confidence and competence of I did that is just so in her body. And dedicated time, dedicated time may not be every day, but she's decided that dedicated time is 3 days a week, or dedicated time is when, you know what my dedicated time is, Brenda? When I'm motivated. When I'm not, there's no reason for me to even try, because I just sit here and I get distracted and I do all these things and I beat myself up, and I've chosen not to do that. So when I come in with a spark idea of creation, that is my dedicated time to sit and create. I actually sat in this chair for 12 hours yesterday, crunching numbers and setting up all of my events for the entire year. I was so motivated. I have no idea where that motivation came from. I did not say I'm going to do this and motivate myself. It just showed up. So I stayed with it. I stayed in the flow of my dedicated time. Right? So who knows how that dedicated time looks? You get to create it, but let's pretend that you've just created and you're really, really just grooving in your time. Okay, does everybody understand? So it's already happened. Like this $5,000 a month is like so easy. Liz is like going, 10 feels a little better because like 5, that was fun, but where's the challenge now? I need to do something else that makes me feel challenged. So, that's already happened. And Ashley, man, she's just totally earning that $1,000 a month with grace and ease. Like it's working with her little baby and it's working with her husband and her time, and she just feels fulfilled. So on April 1st, 2022, you're going to write a journal entry. Now, before you do that, what I would love for you to do is go back into your dream. Go back into your 3-month intention, and you're going to envision it, and you're going to feel what feelings that brings up in you. So if you have this entryway that is perfect for clients, and you can see it, and you can feel the joy and the excitement of bringing, those products in, and how easy that flows, and that the money is coming from those photos. And I want you to feel whatever it is, and you're going to write down the feelings that you're experiencing. Okay. So go into that vision of what it looks like done, how awesome it is to be living in a house that everybody's humming in their own space. And as you feel a feeling, I want you to open your eyes, capture it, and go back into the vision again. You're going to write down those feelings. Okay, do we have some emotions? Kareen, what emotion did you come up with as you did that? Can you find it? Yeah, I know you're tired, babe, because it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. But what emotion did you have?
Like, thank goodness it works.
Thank goodness, relief. That sounds like relief
Yeah.
and hope.
Yeah, and just like, yeah, mine was yeah, it's relief that I'm not alone, that he loves me, and that, yeah, I can do this. There was hope. Yeah, hope and relief.
Relief and hope. Good, good, good. Okay, so this is what you're going to do with your emotions. You're going to describe them and why they happen. So you're going to say, April 1st, 2022, I have so much relief because, and then write a story about the things that have happened that has caused you to feel that hope and that belief. Does that make sense? So the confidence and competence, Brenda can write, oh my word, like that was so much more successfully than I ever thought. And the response back was way more than I anticipated. This is so fun. I finally feel like I nailed it. Like I found the groove I've been looking for the past like 5 years. I'm so excited, right? And you write it as though it's already happened. Does that make sense, Afua? The test is already done. It's like, oh my word, I feel so proud of myself. Like it was such a different experience this time, just letting the information flow into me. Like if I could tell anybody how to do this, I would tell them that they've got to do a workshop with Ann Ferguson. No, I'm just kidding. You're gonna just, all the things that made that test happen. Does that make sense? Okay, so you've got about 10 minutes to start writing. Write all the things. Chevy, I would love to know, like April 1st, oh my word, like I didn't know what cherished actually feels like, because I'd never experienced it until now, like this level of being seen and having what I feel being reciprocated is so divine. I feel like this is finally it. This is what I've been missing. And I'm so grateful. And then talk about him. Talk about what you did when you went hiking together and he explored the mountains with you or whatever. Actually write a story. Liz, how fun was it for me to like fly out to Florida and we just hung out, because I'm actually going to be there in April, just so you know. I'm actually going to Florida to see Kay, so we can talk about, you can, and the trip is all set up and Ann's coming and I'm so excited about the response we got. Oh my gosh, like I finally feel like I'm like in the groove, like I've secured the client. This is amazing. Like this actually works. When I let go of all of the reasons why I can't, gosh, I'm so glad I did this. Okay, start writing. Write the story. Ready to go. Have some fun. Can you guys hear that music? Is there music coming through? Yep. You went up or down more? How about that? Is that good, Emmy?
And
All right. Okay, shut this down, and I would love to debrief with you what you, hold on if I can get my, there. Shut that down. There we go. All right. So how was that for you? Somebody report in. Corrine, what about you? What did you experience as you did that?
Oh, it was really different actually compared to any other time that I've done it. Things started to make a lot more sense. I don't think I'm that quick off the mark sometimes. I felt a lot of relief for me and for where I am. I felt relief, and I felt like an exhale. I've also written here, I'm feeling peaceful, uplifted, and safe and secure.
Are you feeling that right now? Like as you wrote that, where you were feeling it in the moment?
Yes. Yeah. And so as I was writing, it was trying to discern the feelings that I was feeling, because there were different ones. And I thought, wow, I feel safe, just like relaxed. But why do I feel relaxed? And I actually feel safe. I feel safe and secure.
I'm so excited about that.
Yeah.
Because feeling it as you were writing it is the thing that creates it, right? So many times we go, oh, I've got to think my way into this. No, we just need to allow the feelings to show up. And you did it, Corrine. Look at you. You did it, and you feel safe. And now what you have is you have a statement so that when the doubt shows up again, you go, no. I'm just going to read my statement. I'm going to read my journal entry, and I'm going to feel it again, because this is what I desire to feel, this right here. And you just keep reading it and keep feeling it. You and I have talked a lot back and forth about writings that are not done with the spirit being written at the time, right? Just taking excerpts. The reason why that book, there's excerpts that are coming out, but it's because the feeling isn't there, because there's just a section that is out of place. So it's out of vibration with how that talk was actually written. But the other book that we love, she was in vibration of the emotions as she was writing it. And so you feel the vibrations coming through. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what's happened now, go ahead.
Yep. I saw the first book before I went to bed tonight, and I looked at it and I thought, oh, no. And then I thought, no, stop. No judgment. Just, okay, it's for somebody else. But yes, I understand exactly.
So what happened is you just created this with the vibrational energy of what you want to actually experience. Yeah. So every time you read it, you can get back into vibration with that dream, back into vibration with the future that's on its way. You just sit. So yesterday somebody said, yeah, but what's my responsibility and what's God's? Your responsibility is to every single time you feel you going out of alignment with what you desire, that you read that statement again and be back in alignment with everything you desire. That is your responsibility, nothing else. When the Lord says, hey, by the way, go do this thing, it's going to feel safe, because it will be vibrating with the same amount of what you're trying to do here. It may feel a little thrilling and kind of like, ooh, I've never done this before, but I still feel safe, not panicked.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Okay, anybody else? What did you experience? I would love to hear some more.
I'll share.
Okay, go ahead. Let's go Chevy and then to Afua. Go ahead, Chevy.
Thank you. I wrote a lot about the business and how easy and the flow, and just show what it is for me to show up myself. And then when I was writing about the relationship, what I realized is the same kind of feelings it's the same essence for the business that it is for the relationship. And what I realized after writing about the relationship is that what I was describing is actually a relationship of me with myself.
Oh, so good. So
which is the
good.
relationship that I consider to be God's relationship with me. It's like it's about me with myself.
You with yourself. And so now you have a place to go back and connect with that relationship you would love to have with yourself. Did the feelings that you wanted, did they all show up? Could you feel it as you're writing?
Yeah. I just the last bit that I wrote was that that his love for me is divine, and that he has taken me into his world, accepting me with open arms. I'm proud of all of me, and that I feel safe, loved, and secure. And that's what I want to feel for myself, for me.
For you. And so it starts there.
Me about me. And the rest will be a bonus.
Well, and what happens, Chevy, is that everything that is within your internal structure manifests out in the physical structure. Yeah. So this is about your relationship with you. I love that you discovered that. And the more that you sit in how much you love you and how comfortable you are with you, the more the outside world is going to respond to that vibration. Ooh, open up the floodgates for Chevy's business, because she's really, really, really happy with herself. And people are going to resonate with that. It's going to be so great. Stay in that place where you're just really in love with yourself, giving love to yourself. Yeah. All right. Afua, what did you have?
Okay. So I've sort of been practicing this, but I may have written it down, but not very much into details. And so, I walk around sometimes with a smile on my face, or just kind of going through the emotions of how I would feel when I leave the testing room and I get that paper that says you passed. So I've been trying to envision that in my eyes and what it will feel. And it's just this big smile on my face, right? Just big smile on my face. And I'm like, I can't believe it. Oh my God. Like, it's just doesn't feel real to me. So, also what I realized with what I was writing down is I put down that I feel worthy of it, because I guess sometimes I feel like I'm not smart enough to actually conquer the exam. And so maybe because that's why I've been kind of dragging my feet of not.
And so now with this writing, you feel totally worthy of passing it. Yeah. Right? Okay, so every time you feel not smart enough, take this out and connect with the feelings that you had when you wrote it. Does that make sense? Every single time you feel it. We know about the little arrow that bounces out of the subconscious or the conscious mind. Remember, we go bounce. This is the moment of bounce. Every time you feel that I'm not smart enough, you go, oh, no, bouncing that. And this is, hey, subconscious, this is what we're doing. What I would love to feel. Yes, I did that. Oh my gosh, I did that. Can you subconscious make that moment happen for me? Because I would love that moment. And you just write that story to your subconscious and give it some order. Right?
Yeah.
Good work. All right. What about you, Brenda? What'd you experience?
It was a lot of fun. Like I totally felt it when I was writing it. Like I felt all the excitement. I felt all of like being able to look back and the awe really of what I had accomplished. I think one of the other things that was kind of fun is I had kind of a witness that now is the time. And I don't know about you guys, but so many times in my life, I like pray and pray and pray for something, and I want and want and want, and I wait and wait and wait and wait. And then when it happens, it's like this eye-opening thing of like, okay, this is why it had to happen now. You know, like, and then you can look back and you can see, oh yeah, because if I hadn't have done that, then I wouldn't have had this kind of an outcome when the thing happened, right? And so a big part of the writing was that I was able to look back and go, oh, this is why Heavenly Father was making me wait until this year to have this happen, because all of the things fell in place and now is the time. And I felt that really strongly in me, that now this year, this is the time. And some of the things I already know, like that I've kind of been awakened to of my own self and what I'm capable of and what I need to do and stuff like that. And I'm sure there's going to be other things that I'm going to find this year that also are going to get plugged in because of how ready I am. So that was awesome.
So what I love is, instead of trying to make the feeling happen that I'm confident, you relaxed into it so that the feeling showed up in you. Okay, I think too many times we try to go, okay, so this is what it looks like for me to feel confident, and we're still in our head, instead of what I hear is, it's just now the right time. Like that feeling came up in you so strong. You didn't create that feeling. You allowed
you know me so well
in you.
Yeah, because I'm a forcer, right?
You're a forcer.
Like, it has to happen now, so we're gonna make it happen.
Because I'm in charge of my destiny.
Right. And this was really just being able to see all the pieces fall together, and how great that was.
Okay, so what I want you guys to know is the process. Okay, getting an overarching vision, taking into the details of what I would love, getting rid of and examining, like looking at all of the ridiculousness that's in the way that we create or that the enemy puts into our space. And then here's the thing that's different about this vision, is that we moved the vision into the heart. I asked you to shut your eyes and allow yourself to feel, like put yourself in the situation and what are you feeling? And then you create your vision statement by explaining your feeling. And now we're actually connected. Did you see that process? Because I can envision what I think I want to have and never feel it. And then it feels inauthentic. It feels like it's not actually going to happen. And then I get really panicked and worried because it doesn't feel real, like it's supposed to be real, but I feel like I'm making it up. And it's because I was making it up. Instead of feeling what I want to, like shutting my eyes and go, what would I feel in this moment? And writing from the place of feeling, I'm no longer making it up. I'm actually feeling it in advance. That's fun stuff. That's the difference for me between goal setting in my brain and saying I have to do it this way and this way and this way. And if I'm disciplined enough in my discretionary time, Brenda, then, then I'm a good goal setter and I can achieve all sorts of things, including disappointment, because I put too many expectations on myself. You can achieve disappointment all day long. But this way, we're feeling it. And do you feel the difference of anticipation? Chevy, can you feel the anticipation of that relationship? Like instead of the expectation of how you're supposed to be, you can just sit in anticipation of the experience when it shows up. Okay, anticipation is full of hope. Expectation is full of failure and disappointment. So when you're starting to feel the failure, disappointment, impossibility, look at expectation. Oh, I'm doing that again. Go back and look at your list. How many of those lists are full of expectation, the negative side? I expect myself to be this, and I can't be that, and I can't do this, and I won't do that, and I don't have the capacity. I'm not smart enough. The expectation. That's what it's all rooted in. So I would love to hear more. I'm going to let anybody who needs to, but what we're doing is we're not setting goals. You are casting vision for real. And you can anticipate every single thing that's coming up in that. Because, by the way, I will explain this to you. You just created with God. So those of you who want to feel like you're got your place with him, when you allow yourself to feel what it would feel like when you have that, and then you write from the place of the feeling, that feeling is given to you by God. And now you're co-creating everything with him. That's how you don't do it alone. Let yourself feel. This is called faith unwavering. Go ahead, Corrine.
You said anticipation is hope. Sorry, what was the expectation again?
It's failure and disappointment.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. So anybody else wants to share what they just experienced as they were writing this? Ashley, I'd love to hear from you if you can. May not be there. Emmy, what did you experience?
I just felt so, it centered me. Does that make sense? So I feel like the last month has been a whirlwind of crazy without my intention for it to be that. I intended a bunch of good things, but it just, that, good things happen, but there was a lot of crazy, and I didn't realize how much I was not centered until I just did this exercise just now.
Good.
And so I just feel more comfort from my Father in heaven, being like, you're totally fine. You got this. You're worrying too much. Just breathe.
Just
and
breathe.
So
one of the things that I want you guys to know is this is the work. So when you go, I need to get my dreams done, and I've got to do all the work, and I've got to be disciplined, and I've got to do all the things, that's not actually the work. The doing isn't the work. The work is to sit and dream. As we know about the Jackrabbit factor, right? Is that, and Portal to Genius, is that they gave him a desk and some pen and some paper and said, go to work. And he's like, what do I even do? And they're like, think about it. It's like, what, thinking is work? Oh yeah, thinking, this is the work. And then the other part of the work is to recognize and be aware when you're going out of vibrational harmony with what you just did. So as you recognize you not actually being in harmonious vibration with what you just wrote, you go, oh, I need to get back into harmonious vibration. What is that thing I wrote? And you read it. You want to have this in your head. Now, how many of you have ever seen or listened to Hamilton, the musical? Because what happens with Hamilton after you've listened to it is for the next week and a half, that song, every song plays in your head. Somebody will say one word and all of a sudden the songs are playing in your head again, even if you don't know these songs very well. Like the room where it happened, the room where it happened. Like somebody can say the word room and all of a sudden it's in my head and it's singing, right? What you want to do is read this and feel it enough that you find yourself at the grocery store just repeating some of the words of the letter that you just wrote to the journal entry. And you let it be in your head like a song virus or whatever those things are called. A song worm? What'd you call it, Liz? I think you called it something one day. A what?
An earworm.
An earworm. It is an earworm. What I would love for you to do is have this be your earworm. So that as soon as something kind of goes out of alignment, you go, no, I'm just going to read this so that it becomes what my brain just vibrates in and my feelings are just in. That is the work. Because everything else shows up and you go, oh yeah, that's in harmonious vibration with the having $5,000 a month. I'm just going to step into that because that's the right thing. And you don't have to do this back and forth. Is it right? Is it not right? Am I being faithful? Am I not? You're just in harmonious vibration with this creation that you just did. You just created. Ashley, how was this for you?
Good and bad. I just have so many limiting beliefs that I'm hanging on to that I'm not sure how to release. But otherwise, I feel like it brought up a lot of hope and excitement.
Stay in the hope and excitement and go, that's interesting that there's still limiting beliefs. And I'm going to sit in the hope and excitement. Don't worry about the limiting of beliefs if you can. Just be aware. Guess what? Ashley, I have a secret for you. You will never, ever be rid of limiting beliefs. Fun fact. You can stop any kind of hope by believing that you have to get rid of all of your limiting beliefs first. That is a lie. I woke up this morning with limiting beliefs about this workshop. Absolutely. Nobody's going to show up. It's not going to be effective. I'm going to be all over the place. They're not going to get any benefit from it. All of my beliefs and all of the chatter showed up. It's never going to stop until you go, oh, I see you. Not doing you. I'm going to sit in the hope of my creation because that's what I would really love. The natural thing in this world is disintegration. Everything is going away. Leaves, the furniture, this one right here, the more I use it, the more it's going to disintegrate. By the way, I found out why the back of my pants are thin is because the chair actually scrapes off the little fibers of my jeans and it's disintegrating my jeans as I sit. Okay, it's just everything is disintegrating unless I'm intentional about integrating. I could totally put a towel down on my chair and guess what? My jeans are no longer disintegrating because I've decided to do something. But I have to know that that's a thing. You will always lean towards disintegration. That is the world. Yes, Chevy.
I like the fact that the word integration is also the word integrity.
Yes.
And is
integration is
making something whole and one and complete.
I love that. Love that. See, I want to show you. There's my pant fuzz. I just reached down from the bottom of my chair. That is why my pants are thin on my behind side. Okay, so the reality is, Ashley, you will never actually get rid of your limiting beliefs. But you could never, the truth is that you could never actually connect with your positive ones. So sit in your positives and be aware that the negatives exist. Right? And just go, what I would really love to choose is just these positive things. You don't have to fix all of that. You don't have to uproot it. You just have to go, this is what I would love. And pretty soon, you actually have earworms that are way more present than the ones that say you suck and you're not faithful enough and you're not this enough. The reality is we bounce in and out of faithfulness and not believing all day long, all the time. Every time I said, Leslie has a thing, she says, when I have a choice, I choose to believe. Right? I choose to actually sit in belief instead of disbelief. I can't do anything about the disbelief. I've got too many inherited emotions. I don't know how many ancestors have doubted over how many years. I don't know that I'll ever discover that. The thought that I could possibly eradicate all negative programming that has ever been in my DNA is just absolutely ridiculous. I can do what I can do with what I've got right now in the moment. Go ahead, Flora.
Although everything is constantly disintegrating, at the same time, there's always growth.
Yes.
And there's always new growth. and there's always survival, and there's always thriving, and there's always that too. So it's kind of just, what do I want to focus on?
What would I love? So every time you go into the doubt and the fear and that it's not possible, ask yourself, is that what I would actually love? No, I actually don't want to have stress with my partner. That's actually not what I would love. So I'm going to sit in belief and what it feels like when I'm cherished and what it feels like when I'm heard and what I've seen. Have I ever experienced that before in my life? Because you're right, Flora, they both exist at all times. They both exist, right? So good. That is our workshop for today. Is there anything else that anybody would love to express? So another workshop that I may post in a couple of weeks is a continuation of this, but what it is to take all of those negative statements that you wrote and change them into really positive declarations for yourself. Right? So that you actually have a book of declarations based off of all the crap. You can actually speak to it and go, no, actually what I would love is this. And you just keep moving towards that. Okay. You can choose what to do. If you want to take your throw up and just burn it, you can do that. We don't need to play and mess with it. Or you can put it on a shelf and we can transmute it in a declarations workshop. I'm more than willing to do that in a couple of weeks. Okay. Any last thoughts? Oh, first of all, let me tell you, Genius Boot Camps. I have some coming up. So there is one scheduled in January. It is scheduled for the 13th, 14th, and 15th of January in St. George. Because I did not get a lot of advertising out, I'm contemplating doing virtual. So if anybody wants to do a virtual Genius Boot Camp where we meet on Zoom and we do Genius Boot Camp at your own home instead of you traveling to come to me, please let me know and I will switch that into a virtual setting and get the registration signed up. I need to have at least 5 people for me to be willing to do a virtual Genius Boot Camp. Okay. Emmy, yes, my dear.
Did you get my private message?
I did, and we can stay.
Okay, I just wasn't sure if you
I'm
had a minute or not. So
I do.
Okay.
And then I have another Genius Boot Camp in sunny St. George. It's so awesome. On the 17th through the 19th of February. So I've got a chef coming up this time, so I'm not doing my own food anymore. I'm just going to relax because I decided that doing it hard wasn't a good idea anymore. And so I'm just going to show up and teach. And it's a resort, but it's a camping resort. So there's glamping and you're out in the woods and you're surrounded by nature and it's really gorgeous and beautiful. So if you would love.
The most awesome place ever. It's my favorite spot ever.
Ever. Yes. So that's February. Yes.
Are you still doing one in Arizona next month or no?
I am doing Arizona. I will be in Phoenix the 6th to the 8th. Somebody has asked me to come out and do a Genius Boot Camp or the 6th to the 9th is when I'm going to be doing Genius Boot Camp in Phoenix. So if you're in and around there, that would be great. Any of you who are listening to the recording, please know that that's happening. And if you had a hard time at all connecting to the feelings of things or connecting to your sense of self with God, one of the places that can help you with that is the Joyful Heart Mastery Program. So I highly, highly, highly recommend that you take that. It's not I don't like to call it a course. It's an experience. So you can always repeat it as many times as you want. Brenda has decided she wants lifetime membership. So anytime she needs a tweak, she can jump into a new Joyful Heart Mastery course and just start all over and get her connection back on. So if that's something that you would love, please reach out to me and I can get you the schedule of the Joyful Heart Mastery classes that are going on. We have fabulous, fabulous mentors who know how to stand with you in just beautiful ways to help you. And if you've already taken it from me, you might want to take it from somebody else, because they're going to bring out something else, and the different personalities are just beautiful. God orchestrates who's in those classes. So those are the offerings, is Joyful Heart Mastery and the Genius Boot Camps right now. Okay, so just private message me and I'll get you information if that's what you would love. Whether you're on the recording or here, everybody, thank you so much for being here. If you want to come and tweak this a little bit more, then I will be here again tomorrow. I'm going to do another one. I'm going to start at 9 o'clock Mountain Time, because I actually teach a Joyful Heart Mastery class at 11. So I'm realizing this is actually a 2-hour course, not a 90-minute, for me to actually get you through where you can actually write. So I'm going to start at 9 o'clock tomorrow Mountain Time, and you can just do it again. All right. And the recordings will be sent out for all of you. And then anybody else, I'll figure out how to post this so that people can access the recordings. Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a really, really good day.